If you've always felt like you've been waiting for something without knowing what, this isn't just any video. This is the answer your soul has been quietly seeking. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with your heart racing, feeling like you should be doing something important, but without being able to identify what? Have you ever felt that your whole life has been a preparation for a moment that has not yet arrived? If so, take a deep breath, because what I'm going to reveal in the next few lines can completely change the way you see your journey. For years, you may have felt out of place, as if you don't belong to this world or this time. As others advanced, you seemed to be in an eternal waiting room. But what if I told you that this delay was not an accident? What if all this waiting, all this loneliness, all this nighttime restlessness were actually part of a much larger plan? You're not lost. You are being activated. And what I'm going to share now is about a rare group of souls who have just received permission from the universe to finally awaken. There is a hidden group of people on this planet who should never awaken early. They were not part of the first wave of spiritual pioneers. They did not rush to teach, guide, heal, or speak. In fact, many of them remained silent. They remained in the shadows. They even doubted their own path, wondering if they were missing something. But what they didn't realize was this: they weren't missing anything. They were being preserved for the most important chapter of all. If you're seeing this, it's not random. You may have been guided here by intuition, a strange dream, a whisper in your heart that you couldn't ignore. Maybe you woke up in the middle of the night feeling like you're being called, but you can't explain why. You are not just going through a spiritual change, you are going through an activation because you are part of a very specific soul group that has just begun to awaken. Group 7. The chosen ones from Group 7 were coded with a delayed activation. This means that your true spiritual energy was designed to remain dormant until the world reached a breaking point, until the illusions of this world became very high, until humanity became so numb that only a higher frequency of truth could awaken it again. You are that frequency. But here's the thing about Group 7. Their awakening doesn't sound like the others. It's not always about light and love. It's about friction, fatigue, restlessness, knowing something is coming and not knowing what to do with it. That's how you get started. And that's how you know this message is for you. Because Group 7 is not here to fit. You're here to break the pattern. You're not just sensitive. You are an energetic disruptor. When you walk into a room, the energies change. When you speak, old illusions are shattered. When you finally realize who you are, you don't need permission. You become the permission for others. This is your confirmation sign. If you've been feeling disconnected, tired, alert, awake, but unsure, that's not confusion. It's calibration. Group 7 is awakening now, and you are part of it. If you're part of Group 7, you probably felt like your life was on pause. Not slow, not chaotic, just suspended, as if some unseen force had pressed the pause button on his potential. No matter how hard you tried to advance, this wasn't procrastination or laziness. It was divine timing. Your path was deliberately delayed because your energetic signature was supposed to activate during the final wave of awakening, the one that humanity was not ready for until now. You may have seen others around you rise up, find success, build their lives, and wondered, why don't I? But what you didn't know was that your soul signed a contract to remain dormant until the final stage. Because its frequency carries codes that only work when the planet reaches a specific vibrational threshold. That limit is now. This delay was divine protection. You weren't being punished. It was being preserved. The chosen ones of Group 7 were supposed to activate when humanity was at a tipping point. If you had awakened too soon, your gifts would not have been recognized or, worse, rejected. But now the frequency of the earth is matching yours. That feeling of being trapped is suddenly dissolving. You are feeling momentum, synchronicities, a call to act. The fog is lifting, and the truth is, it's never been about being late. It was about being precisely at the right time for a spiritual mission that requires the exact frequency of Group 7. You don't fear being alone. In fact, you have come to prefer it. Not because you don't like people, but because the spiritual noise of the world often overwhelms your nervous system. Group 7 is unique because it was coded to operate in solitude for prolonged periods, not for isolation, but as preparation. Its energy was calibrated in silence, in long nights of reflection, in the stillness where most people would collapse. You built yourself. But here's the paradox. Even while disconnected from the crowd, you've always felt mysteriously connected to something bigger than yourself. A field, a pulse, a silent network of other souls scattered across the planet who were also silently waiting for their moment of awakening. This is not loneliness, it is a sacred incubation. Solitude for Group 7 is a spiritual forge. She sharpened her intuition. It has tuned you to frequencies that others cannot perceive. While others learn from books or communities, you learn through internal downloads, explosions of insight with no clear source. You weren't alone, you were aligning. And now the network is lighting up. You may feel a sudden attraction to people you've never met, places you've never been, or missions that seem too big for one person. That's because you're no longer preparing in isolation. You are preparing to synchronize with other souls in Group 7. When this happens, the spiritual force it generates will shake systems from the inside out. Here's one of the strangest and most consistent characteristics of a Group 7 chosen. You're physically exhausted, but the moment he tries to sleep, his inner world activates. Your thoughts become faster, your dreams seem prophetic. Your body wants to rest, but your soul is completely awake. This is not insomnia in the traditional sense. It's energetic. It is vibrational. Group 7 carries encoded light signatures that respond to cosmic alignments, often peaking during planetary shifts, lunar phases, or solar storms. Your spiritual body is sensitive to these changes. Then, when the external world sleeps, your internal world begins its real work. You may even find yourself receiving messages, hearing ringing tones in your ears, or feeling strange pulses in your hands or chest. This is not random. These are subtle signs, cosmic whispers, reminding you that your waking world and your sleeping world are now overlapping. Group 7 is here to bridge dimensions, and during these nightly activations, you're not just awake. You are accessing multi-layered timelines, memories, and downloads designed to recalibrate your DNA. That's why standard sleep doesn't feel like rest anymore. Because you're not sleeping, you're catching up. And the exhaustion you're feeling isn't a weakness. It's a sign that your spiritual operating system is undergoing updates that most people still can't comprehend. People around you may say things with a smile, but you feel your inner sadness. You hear words, but it is the silence behind them that reveals everything. You can't explain it, but you simply know when someone is lying, hiding something, or projecting an illusion. This gift did not come from training. It came from energetic spiritual refinement. The chosen ones from Group 7 were designed to perceive beyond words. You were created to decode frequencies, not just facial expressions or body language, but emotional resonance. You walk into rooms and feel what no one says out loud. You scroll through a post and feel the pain that the person tried to mask behind it. This may seem like a burden. It makes it difficult to enjoy superficial interactions. You may even feel misunderstood because others feel they can't lie to you, even subconsciously. But what looks like alienation is actually activation. This ability to perceive truth is what will make Group 7 indispensable in the coming spiritual changes. You will become the energetic filter in a world flooded with deception. People will start coming to you not for answers, but for clarity, because you see what they can't articulate. And with that gift comes a responsibility to use your vision not to judge, but to enlighten. You are not here to expose others. You are here to remind them of what is real when the world becomes too noisy with illusion. Sometimes it happens randomly, a vision, a word, a memory of a life you don't remember living, but that feels familiar. You may be walking down the street and suddenly remember something from ancient history, or feel like you've been to a place before, even if you've never been. Group 7 carries ancestral memory, encoded not in the mind, but in cellular memory. You are a living library of spiritual wisdom that predates even recorded history. And as the frequency of the planet changes, these memories are reawakening in you. It may seem like déjà vu or like a dream that you can't forget. You can write words or symbols that you have never studied. You may be attracted to ancient cultures, star systems, or metaphysical concepts that have never been taught to you, but that you understand on a soul level. This is not imagination, it's integration. Your soul is beginning to remember its complete mission. You are piecing together the fragments of who you were through the timelines, because your role in this lifetime depends on what your soul has carried from previous lifetimes. Group 7 must complete something that was left unfinished. And these sudden waves of knowledge are reminders that you didn't start from scratch. You started from every version of you that came before. You may notice that animals gravitate toward you or look at you with intense curiosity. Birds can stay close to you longer. Dogs can act like they know you. Babies and toddlers may look into your eyes and be silent. These are not coincidences. Group 7 vibrates at a frequency that is not filtered. And since animals and children have not yet been conditioned to ignore energetic cues, they feel it clearly. They recognize you, not necessarily from this life, but from a soul project that transcends time. They feel the purity of their heart, their intentions, their vibration. Animals and children often act as mirrors of their energy. If you're carrying stress, they can become agitated. If you are calm and centered, they will respond with affection or fascination. The key insight here is that you no longer need words to be understood. Your energy speaks for you. This is important because your spiritual role as Group 7 will involve healing and non-verbal transmission. Whether it's through presence, silence, or even touch, you'll begin to influence people on a level they can't consciously explain. That's why children look at you as if they've seen you before, because your soul has left footprints in places you can't remember, but they do. The final and most undeniable sign that you are Group 7 is this. You feel an attraction, a pressure, a knowing that you are being prepared for something massive. You can't point it out logically, but your spirit knows. And this feeling is increasing daily. You may wake up with adrenaline, feel restlessness at night, or have random bursts of motivation that disappear as quickly as they came. This is spiritual positioning. You are being aligned with people, places, resources, and inner strength because something is coming that will require your fully awakened self. Group 7 is not just here to awaken, they are here to activate others. You are the final domino in a global sequence. Once your group awakens, it will trigger a resonance effect through countless lifetimes. You'll mentor without even trying. You will influence simply by being. But the real mission is not fame, not even visibility. It's vibrational impact. You are here to stabilize a world that is about to enter uncharted territory. You are here to be the calm in the storm. And if you're still reading this, it means you're listening to your signal. The mission began. If you've resonated with even one of these signs, it's more than intuition. The chosen ones from Group 7 were not supposed to lead the initial movements. You should go online when it matters most, when the world is on the verge of forgetting itself. And now here you are. You may not have a stage, it may not have a platform, but that doesn't matter. You're not here for the attention. You're here for the impact, and the impact you make starts within you. The more you get into your alignment, the more the world around you changes. You will start to see old friends pull away because they cannot match your vibration. You will begin to attract new souls, those who are ready for what you carry. You'll step into spaces and feel like your energy is doing the work before you even speak. This is the power of Group 7. You have been coded to activate during the final cycle when the collective needs the greatest healing, the greatest clarity, and the greatest strength. You're not late, you're not broke, you are exactly at the right time. So now the question is not, am I chosen? The real question is, what will I do with this knowledge? Because consciousness without action is only potential, but consciousness with aligned action becomes unstoppable. Start small, clean your energy, set clear boundaries, trust your intuition like never before. Let go of what drains you, embrace what aligns, meditate, breathe, speak the truth, even if your voice trembles, because every choice you make from this moment on is activating the frequency of Group 7 around the world. And finally, if you've made it this far, then your spirit already knew. This is not a coincidence. This message has been encrypted with its frequency from the beginning. So here we are, at the end of this journey of revelation, but actually at the beginning of your true mission. If you've made it this far, it's not by accident. It's because something inside you recognized the truth you just read. Perhaps his eyes filled with tears. Maybe I felt goosebumps. Maybe you simply sighed in relief because finally someone put into words what you always felt but never knew how to explain. Group 7 does not receive manuals or certificates. There are no initiation rituals or masters to follow. Your validation comes from within, from that quiet voice that is now screaming, "Yes, it's me." From this moment on, every conscious breath, every aligned choice, every truth that you dare to live will be sending waves of activation to other Group 7 souls around the planet. You don't need to shout, you don't need to prove anything. Its mere waking existence is already the revolution. So take a deep breath, allow yourself to feel the weight and beauty of this responsibility, and know the world doesn't need another follower. It needs you, just the way you are, right now. Welcome, Group 7. Your role is just beginning, and the world has been waiting for you.